welcome to my channel, Tutti Frutti Lou. Going to give you a bit more information about my journey today. Hope you like it. If you do, like and subscribe. I just wanted to just bring you up to date as well with actually how my journey for weight loss surgery has gone so far. Obviously, you don't go and see a surgeon straight away or anything like that. I had to go and see my GP and be referred to the weight loss surgery team. I then waited about 18 months actually, and thought, hang on a minute, surely I should have had an appointment by this point. Went back to my GP, he chased it up, and my referral had apparently gone into some kind of black hole for 18 months. So within that time, I should have gone through the whole process and had my operation and been out the other end. Obviously I had to start all over again, but shortly after my GP chased them up, I did get an appointment through, first of all to see the clinical psychologist to make sure that I was okay for surgery, obviously to give them my mental health history with my bipolar disorder, my depression, anxiety. I suffered quite badly as well with PTSD, through trauma that I have been through. I'll go into that at a later date. After I seen the psychologist and kind of was ticked off on that box, I then started the process of going through the weight and diet management team. You have to be usually on the NHS with this particular team for about 6 months, and you go and see them once a month, and they help you and guide you to make better decisions, portion control, get you used to, or try and get you used to how you're going to be able to eat after the operation. So smaller mouthfuls, slowly eating, chewing your food about 20 times each mouthful, and really recognizing when you're actually full, and rather than, you finishing your plate kind of thing. They give you a goal of how much weight that you need to lose. Mine was 5% of my overall weight that I had to lose. And each month, obviously, you plug away at trying to get that weight down. Once you've hit that 5%, and the team are happy that you've made significant progress with everything, and they feel happy with it, they refer you on to what they call tier 4. The tier 4 process, you have to go to 2 group classes, and they're like support information classes. In the first one, they go into detail about the different operations that they offer, and the risks of the operations and complications that may occur, and just give you a better understanding of the operations that you're going for, to make sure that you really do want to go ahead with this surgery. About 2 weeks later, you then go for another class, and that goes into sort of your aftercare after you've had the operation, and the diet that you'll have to have. For instance, after you've had the operation, you will have to have 2 weeks of fluids, like a fluid diet. Then you go sort of 2 weeks where it's puree food, 2 weeks sort of blended, and then after that you try and go on to sort of solid foods. Obviously the 2 weeks is a guide. Some people may take longer, some people may be okay and tolerate sooner, but it's really important, obviously, at the beginning, that you stick to this fluid diet for 2 weeks, because it helps with the healing of the operation. And that goes for whichever operation you have, be it the sleeve or the gastric bypass. I will put some videos on and some information regarding each operation for yourselves. So after you've done those classes, you then get sent an appointment letter to see your surgeon, and obviously find out what operation he's happy to do, or if he's happy to do both. Obviously you discuss the pros and cons, and obviously meet him and the team. Then hopefully you'll get a date through the post for your surgery. They have to give you, with my hospital anyway, 3 weeks notice, because you've got to do 3 weeks of the pre-op diet, which is obviously the fluids. Well, it's meal replacement shakes, and one of them as well includes so many yogurts as well, but it's not very much at all. And they do this pre-op diet to shrink your liver, because while they're operating they need to move your liver out the way to get to your stomach. And obviously if it's too big and fatty they won't be able to do it, and it can tear, so you shrink it, which makes it more firmer, so obviously there's less risk of tear, and obviously the surgeon then can get in where he needs to get in. And in between, obviously the date for surgery, I will have appointments come through to see the specialist nurse team, and obviously check up on my weight and to make sure I haven't gained anything, and just make sure everything's okay. Also, I've had to have some blood tests done just to find out that whether I was deficient in any vitamins or minerals or anything like that, and mine came back all fine, which is great. After the surgery as well, you will have to be on multivitamins and minerals for life. You will also have to have B12 injections every 3 months for life, and obviously lots of blood tests to make sure that you're not deficient in anything and everything's going okay. Also after the surgery you have to stay with the team for 2 years, so obviously they can look after you and make sure that everything is okay. And then obviously after them 2 years, if you have any problems you go back to your GP and everything, so you know you're not just left in the lurch and you've only got sort of 2 years warranty on it kind of thing. So yeah, that's the process with that at the moment. So I'm at the surgeon stage and waiting for a date. So it's all very exciting. It's very nerve-wracking as well. But obviously for me, using this tool is going to be a massive help. There's lots of stigma that goes with weight loss surgery. People are quite ignorant and don't actually understand the whole weight loss surgery process, and the fact that it is only a tool. It's no miracle, worker. If you do not follow what the surgeon and the team advise you to do afterwards, you can gain weight, or you could lose the weight and then regain it. You're going to have to work with it. You're going to have to still eat healthily and exercise and change your whole lifestyle with it. So it is going to be hard work. It's not an easy option. By far, it's not the easy option. But for me, it's like a last resort. I've tried all the diets you can think of, and some, have worked fantastic. But for me, keeping that weight off after I've lost it is a massive issue. And although, as I said, this surgery is not, a miracle worker, and it's not going to keep the weight off, there's some side effects to the surgery, particularly the bypass, which obviously will help you to stay on track. There's a side effect called dumping syndrome, particularly with the gastric bypass. And that's where you could have something quite fatty, sugary, or something that your body just will not tolerate anymore. And you will end up really, really poorly, diarrhea, sickness, hot flushes, sweats, really just feeling rubbish. And you know, that's more of a deterrent not to do that again. And particularly obviously if you're out in public and that happens, particularly with the diarrhea, it could be rather embarrassing. So it's obviously a really good tool side effect to the operation in itself. Obviously, your stomach itself is going to be a lot smaller. They pretty much cut away 95% of your stomach and give you a little pouch. So obviously your pouch will be the size of an egg cup. So again, you're not going to be able to eat the portions and everything that you did before. But likewise, like with your fluid intakes, you're going to have to be really careful and be very aware of making sure that you drink a lot, but it's small sips often. Again, with the surgery and eating, you won't be able to drink 30 minutes before eating and 30 minutes after, and that's to do with obviously taking up the space and making it go through your system too quick. And there's other things as well that you're not going to be able to do, and one of them, for me, is you know, quite gutting really, but I love my Pepsi Max, and you know, that you will not be able to have carbonated drinks, fizzy drinks, because it will just be far too painful for your pouch, and also obviously it's taking up space with gas bubbles that you need for your food, and fluids that actually are gonna you know, give you your nutrients. You know, so that's just something that I'll get used to, you know, and it's a small sacrifice really. The other thing is alcohol. I'm not probably going to be able to drink alcohol, not that I'm a massive drinker anyway, but how I would before. Again, because your pouch is smaller, and with the gastric bypass it goes through your system a lot quicker. So for instance, I could have a sip of wine and it could be the equivalent of a bottle of wine to my system. So I could have that sip and then be flat on my arse, or really, really merry, in which case I'm going to be a really cheap date. But before, I think that when I used to go out, I'd drink more for that Dutch courage and confidence with going out. Whereas obviously on this journey, I'm hoping to be a lot happier with myself, and not need that Dutch courage, and be able to go out and enjoy myself, or be around people, and not worry. So I'm looking forward to that side of it as well. So, you know, the not drinking is not a big deal for me anyway. So yeah, I'll see you at my next video. Bye, lovelies.